impacts of COVID-19 have been pervasive and are likely to be enduring. Many industries will emerge from this crisis in a very different shape, either through circumstances or by design. In this new context, what does ESG look like now? Will that focus remain, or could it be crowded out by the pandemic crisis and its significant social, economic and geopolitical impacts?
Now, what do we mean by sustainability? And sometimes when people hear the word sustainability, they think only the environment. We think of sustainability much more broadly than that. At the most macro level, it's the sustainability of the enterprise. So what are the issues that will ensure that an enterprise will deliver long-term financial performance and build long-term shareholder value? And we see 5 major dimensions of sustainability: the environment, social capital, which is where a lot of issues that you might consider to be license to operate issues live, human capital, business model and innovation, and leadership and governance.
Another important point I want to make about ESG and responsible investment, I guess, is it means different things to different people, and it's also evolved over time. So it really started out as ethical investments a long time ago, where I think investors were quite happy to forfeit returns as long as they invested with their hearts. And that typically meant screening out companies that didn't fit their personal values or companies from controversial sectors. But if you fast forward to today, investors like ourselves, we use ESG for a different reason, and that's ultimately to drive better informed investment decisions.
We had to develop an integrated sustainability strategy, which had environment, social, and governance. And you'll see across the top pillars, there's things to do with human rights, responsible sourcing and traceability, how we run our factories, and how we deal with people. But underneath that, governance and transparency was absolutely vital. And so I'd say if you're running a business today, you need to have those ESG criteria in place.
The session proved to be a thought-provoking discussion of the many ESG risks and opportunities for business, regardless of size or sector, in the current challenging landscape. It has clearly illustrated that ESG will mean different things to different organisations and industries. The key is to define its relevance for your business. What's also very clear is that far from taking a back seat, ESG is as important as ever in the current environment and a core responsibility of business. For governance and risk professionals, there has arguably never been a more important time to be able to bring an informed view to our boards and leadership teams. On behalf of Governance Institute and Shinewing Australia, I'd like to thank our speakers for their contributions and to all of you for joining the session.